Hi, everyone. This week, we celebrate the 25th week in Ordinary Time. Ordinary Time is green because we are growing in our understanding of Jesus and his teachings. This week's Gospel is from the Gospel of Mark. Jesus and his disciples left from there and began a journey through Galilee, but he did not wish anyone to know about it. He was teaching his disciples and telling them, "The Son of Man is to be handed over to men, and they will kill him. And 3 days after his death, the Son of Man will rise." But they did not understand the saying, and they were afraid to question him. They came to Capernaum, and once inside the house, he began to ask them, "What were you arguing about on the way?" But they remained silent. They had been discussing amongst themselves who was the greatest. Then he sat down, called the 12, and said to them, "If anyone wishes to be first, he shall be the last of all and the servant of all." Taking a child, he placed it in their midst, and putting his arms around them, he said, "Whoever receives one child such as this in my name receives me, and whoever receives me receives not me, but the one who sent me." In this week's Gospel, Jesus and his disciples are traveling and talking on the road. Jesus told them he would suffer and die and rise again, but his disciples didn't understand and they were afraid to ask more. Maybe they didn't want to hear it. It wasn't what they expected to hear, and they probably didn't want to follow a leader who would eventually die. They probably wanted to follow a leader who would be strong and powerful in the way they expected. But they were in for a surprise. When they arrived where they were going, Jesus asked what some of them were arguing about. They were embarrassed because they were arguing about which of them was the greatest. Jesus told them instead of being the greatest, they needed to be the servant. So Jesus brought a child to them as an example. Here there were these grown men thinking they were so important. But Jesus brought in a little child to teach them a lesson. He said that whoever is open and welcoming and takes care of a child is also open and welcoming and takes care of Jesus, and furthermore is open and welcoming of God. So not only will Jesus not be the powerful ruler they expected, they need to not be the powerful people they expected it to be, to not be the greatest and focused on themselves. Instead, they need to be the servant and kind and welcoming to the powerless, even little children. And in doing that, they will welcome Jesus and God. I'm sure they were shocked, and I wonder how many of them started having second thoughts about following Jesus. Are you ready to be kind and welcoming to the powerless? Are you ready to be powerless yourself so that you can welcome God, who is ultimately the only power that matters?